Good afternoon. This is a public hearing required by law and authorized by the New York Power Authority's Board of Trustees on a proposed form of contracts for the sale of expansion power allocations. My name is Felisa Hochheiser, and I'm the authority's Vice President and Corporate Secretary. New York State Public Authorities Law, Section 1009, sets forth procedures for executing certain contracts negotiated by the authority. First, prior to the hearing, it requires that notice of the hearing be provided. Therefore, a notice was sent to the Governor, the Speaker of the Assembly, the Chair of the Senate Finance Committee, the Chair of the Assembly's Ways and Means Committee, the Senate Minority Leader, the Ranking Minority Member of Assembly Ways and Means, and the President Pro Tempore and Majority Leader. In addition, notices appeared once a week for the 4 weeks leading up to this hearing in the following newspapers: Niagara Gazette, Buffalo News, Buffalo Business First, Niagara County Tribune Sentinel Lewiston, Albany Times-Union, and Dunkirk Observer. The public was also given access to the proposed contracts on the authority's website during the 30-day period prior to today's hearing. After the hearing, the public will be given access to the hearing transcript once it is completed at www.nipa.gov. The next step in the process set forth in Section 1009 will be for the NYPA trustees to reconsider their proposed contracts in light of public comments. Once the trustees have completed their final review, the contracts will be forwarded to the governor for her consideration and approval. If you plan to make an oral statement at this hearing, I ask that you please indicate so on the sign-in sheet. Also, if you have a written statement, you can mail or email the corporate secretary at 123 Main Street, 9B as in boy, White Plains, New York 10601, or email secretaries.office@nipa.gov. That's secretarys.office@nipa.gov. Written statements may be of any length and will appear on the record of the hearing in addition to oral statements. The record of the hearing will remain open for additional comments up to and until close of business Tuesday, August 4th, 2026. At this point, I would like to introduce Emily Alkowitz, Director, Power Contracts and Tariffs, who will provide additional details on the proposed contracts for expansion power allocations. Thank you. Ms. Alkowitz?
Thank you, Ms. Hochheiser. I'm here today to present a summary of the proposed contracts for NeoFab Robotics Corp., Agile Cold Storage LLC, and Vericap New York LLC. Regarding the three proposed contracts under Public Authorities Law, Section 1005, subsection 13, the authority may allocate and sell directly or by sale for resale 250 megawatts of expansion power, also known as EP, and 445 megawatts of replacement power, known as RP, to businesses located within 30 miles of the Niagara Power Project, provided that that amount of EP allocated to businesses in Chautauqua County on January 1st, 1987 shall continue to be allocated in Chautauqua County. At its March 31st, 2026 meeting, the NYPA trustees approved a 510 kW allocation of EP for a term of 10 years to NeoFab Robotics Corp., also known as NeoFab, based on commitments of creating at least 23 new full-time jobs and making a capital investment of at least $3,913,400 at Sanborn, New York, that will utilize the EP allocation. The trustees also provided authorization for this public hearing in accordance with the Public Authorities Law PAL 1009 on a proposed form of contract with NeoFab that would, along with the Authority Service Tariff number WNY2 STNY2, apply to the sale of EP to NeoFab. Established in 2025, NeoFab specializes in automated robotic assisted fabrication, welding, tube and pipe processing, and precision industrial manufacturing. The company places a strong emphasis on integrated robotics and artificial intelligence, AI, into its manufacturing processes to help bridge the gap between traditional fabrication and modern technology. NeoFab proposes to construct a 24,000 square foot facility to include manufacturing space and offices at its new Sanborn, New York site. The company states that the project would support the implementation of state-of-the-art automation technologies, which are anticipated to increase productivity, reduce material waste, and shorten lead times and improve energy efficiency. The company's expansion project would involve a capital investment of at least $3,913,400, which includes facility construction costs, new machinery and equipment purchases, and furniture and fixture expenditures. NeoFab plans to begin initial phases of the project this year, with additional phases targeted for completion through the remainder of 2026. At its May 19th, 2026 meeting, the NYPA trustees also approved another allocation, 660 kW of EP for a term of 10 years to Agile Cold Storage LLC, based on commitments of creating at least 44 new full-time jobs and making a capital investment of at least $27.8 million at its West Seneca facility that would utilize the EP allocation. The trustees also provided authorization for this public hearing in accordance with the Public Authorities Law, PAL 1009, on a proposed form of contract that Agile would, along with Authority Service Tariff number WNY2 STNY2, apply to the sale of EP to Agile. Established in 2019, Agile operates cold storage facilities specializing in automated temperature-controlled warehouses for the frozen food industry. The company provides services including blast freezing, layered case picking, cross-docking, export services, tempering, and e-commerce. Agile's expansion involves the construction of a new 133,000 square foot cold storage warehouse and food processing facility in West Seneca. The facility would provide temperature-controlled storage and manufacturing space, utilizing advanced automation and logistics to efficiently manage and preserve food products. The company's expansion would involve a capital investment of at least $27.8 million, which includes new machinery and equipment purchases, processing equipment, and process area fit out, and the installation of refrigeration systems for cold storage and process areas. Agile anticipates multiple phases for the expansion project, and they're currently targeted for completion in 2026. At its May 19th, 2026 meeting, the trustees also approved a 1,540 kW allocation of EP for a term of 10 years to Barricap New York LLC, abbreviated as Barricap, based on commitments of creating at least 40 new full-time jobs and making a capital investment of at least $22,343,000 at its Cheektowaga facility that would utilize the EP allocation. The trustees also provided authorization for this public hearing in accordance with the Public Authorities Law 1009 on a proposed form of contract with Barricap that would, along with Authority Service Tariff WNY2 STNY2, apply to the sale of EP to Barricap. Established in 1926, Barricap specializes in plastic closures and caps for the food, beverage, pharmaceutical, and automotive industries. The company is headquartered in Germany and operates 30 manufacturing sites worldwide, supporting global brands such as Coca-Cola, Danone, Kraft Heinz, and ExxonMobil. Barricap is proposing to acquire and retrofit a 100,000 square foot manufacturing facility in Cheektowaga to meet increased demand from the Northeast and Great Lakes consumer goods markets. The facility location would provide strategic access to interstate highways, transportation infrastructure, and border crossings. The company's expansion project would involve a capital investment of at least $22,343,000, which includes renovations and retrofitting costs, new machinery and equipment purchases, and furniture and fixtures. Barricap anticipates multiple phases for this expansion project, and it's currently targeted for completion in 2027. The following is a summary of the pertinent provisions in the proposed contracts. The contracts provide for direct billing of all hydropower supply charges and all New York Independent System Operator, Inc. NYSO charges and taxes. The contracts include customer agreed upon commitments with respect to employment, capital investment, and power utilization. Under the contracts, the authority may reduce or terminate an allocation if employment, power utilization, or capital investment commitments are not met. Relatedly, the contracts include an annual job reporting requirement and a job compliance threshold of 90%. Should the company's average annual employment fall below the compliance threshold of 90% of the employment commitment, the authority may reduce the amount of the allocation. The contracts provide for the company to perform an energy audit at its facilities at least once within 5 years, helping to ensure that the customer use the hydropower efficiently. To address non-payment risk that could result from the direct billing arrangement, the contracts include commercially reasonable provisions concerning the authority's ability to charge late payment fees, to require deposits in the event of a customer's failure to make payment for any 2 monthly bills. These contract provisions are consistent with other authority direct sale contracts, including Recharge New York sales contracts. The contracts provide for the collection of a zero emissions credit charge and a renewable energy credit charge to allow the authority to recover costs it would incur related to its purchase of zero emissions credits and renewable energy credits attributable to the customer's load. The contracts will address the allocation along with the authority's service tariff WNY2, which specifies rates and other terms applicable to other EP and RP allocations. Transmission and delivery service for the allocations will be provided by the customer's local utility in accordance with the Utilities Public Service Commission approved delivery service tariffs. As Ms. Hochgeiser stated earlier, the authority will accept your comments on the proposed contracts until the close of business on Tuesday, August 4th, 2026. I will now turn the hearing back to Ms. Hochgeiser. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Alquist. Has anyone shown up to speak at the hearing?
Not at this time.
Since no one has signed up to speak at the hearing, we will recess and reconvene as speakers arrive. Thank you. It is now 6 p.m. As I previously stated, the record of the hearing will remain open for additional comments up to and until close of business Tuesday, August 4th, 2026. The August 3rd, 2026 public hearing on the proposed sale of contracts for expansion power allocations is now officially closed. Thank you and good night.